right. What is good, y'all? Welcome to the Culture Shift with Raven50mm, where we are reimagining podcasting by leveraging blockchain and Web3 tools to experiment with monetization and distribution methods. It is Women's History Month. Shout out to all the incredible women out there, all the grandmothers and mothers and sisters and aunts and all the women impacting their circle of love. We recognize you, we honor you, and we lift you up in this moment. This month, we will be highlighting some brilliant ladies and creating a space for them to share their stories. Brought to you by the Legacy Portrait Project and the 50mm Collective. The 50mm Collective is a community of BIPOC, trans, and queer digital artists and allies that work together as we pioneer Web3 and NFTs. The 50mm Collective has a YouTube channel with tutorials and helpful info on how to get set up and get started with archiving your artwork on the blockchain. The Legacy Portrait Project, while inspired by my grandmother's battle with dementia, is a mission-driven endeavor that is aimed at empowering BIPOC, trans, and queer individuals. Something special starts to happen when you are able to share your story and, where am I at here? Something special starts to happen when you're invited to share your story and breathe life into a higher version of yourself. Legacy portraits are AR-activated portraits that come to life with video narration, sharing the subject's story from their perspective. I'm super, super excited to announce a Legacy Portrait Tour. That is right. This project is going on tour around the country, bringing these innovative portrait sessions to different cities, with the first stop being in Austin, Texas during South by Southwest. The tour will be connecting with folks at two major events. Number one, the brand new Summit, a conference hosted by Boys Club. Shout out to the wonderful ladies of Boys Club. And destination number two, Rest Fest, a wellness and healing festival hosted by Mutual Love. Shout out to the good fellas of Mutual Love. And then after Austin, we will be heading to New York during NFT NYC. We'll be putting together a creator house and meetup for our community. We are currently reaching out to value-aligned brands and companies to be part of this initiative. So I'm really excited, y'all. It's going to be special. This is a God dream, and I'm fully anticipating the goodness of God to show up and show out for us on this Legacy Portrait Tour. All right, now let's get into our guest here. We have the brilliant Asia Shiori. She is a 22-year-old powerhouse in the world of social media and beyond. As a beauty, fashion, and lifestyle creator, she brings her unique blend of passion and expertise to everything she touches. From makeup tutorials to cooking demonstrations, Asia's social media platforms are a treasure trove of inspiration for thousands of followers. But nah, Asia isn't just a social media sensation. She's also a double major in public relations and fashion at Tennessee State University, HBCU, paving her way to success both online and in the classroom. Asia is also in the process of launching All the Vibes with Asia Shiori, a podcast that promises to be your go-to destination for all things fabulous. I am thrilled to welcome our guest, Asia Shiori. Asia, how are you? How you feeling? How you living? Welcome to the Culture Shift.
Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I am doing well. How are you?
I am happy to be here. I'm grounded in gratitude, and I'm excited to get into this conversation. So thank you for joining us.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. Let's get into the first question here. What sparked your creative journey? We went through a lot here with all your endeavors, and I'm just curious on what sparked that for you.
I think that God just kind of blessed me. Like he put me in a space where I got to grow up around creativity. Like my dad, he was a producer, and then like my mom, she owns a fashion school. So like I kind of grew up in the realm of, like fashion and beauty and like lavish and like kind of being able to like live it up and take the world and make the world what you want it to be and not transcribing to who the world says you're supposed to be. So I think that with that mindset, I was always like embraced for being creative, and then also like being in a space where I was able to go to a diverse school. Like growing up, K through 12, I was able to go through diverse schooling. So I never seen like just one set type of person. So I think that that also like helped like push my individuality a lot And then I think that I just started, I don't know, I just started pushing through. Like, I don't know. I started doing YouTube originally when I was like 12 years old. So
Wow.
it's literally been like I knew what I wanted to do. Like I knew what I was put to do. I knew that I was different and that I wanted to be able to promote change and unity. And I think the way that I was raised, the only way to promote change is to be the change that you want to
Mm.
see. So I think that that's what really fueled me being creative. So that's why I put myself out there in so many different aspects and I challenge myself to be the best at whatever arena I step into. So,
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. You're currently majoring or double majoring in public relations and fashion at Tennessee State University, which is a HBCU, which for those of you who may not know what that represents, it means historically black colleges and universities. Can you speak on your experience on studying fashion specifically at a HBCU and what that means to you?
So anyone who knows HBCU culture, it's all about the look. It's all about making sure that you look your best because when you present the best, the I guess the idea is that when you present the best version of yourself that you can, more doors are open and like less doors are closing your face. So if everyone is presenting their best version of themselves, you can only like have an amazing outcome. You can only have success come from that. So I think like being at an HBCU, Tennessee State specifically, I think that we are very like heavily driven on dressing outside of the box and being innovative and bringing a style that sets us apart because as we know like HBCU culture, every HBCU is known for the fashion and the dressing, but you want to like be a staple. Like your goal is to be a staple. So everyone like really promotes modeling and fashion designing and styling and working together, collaborating. So it'll be like photographers working with stylists, working with content creators, working with brand owners, like all of that is in one place. So
Wow.
it's like you put your best outfits on. I don't know how to explain it. Like they sell totes, hats. There's a pop-up shop for sneakers every time you go out the door. Like it's crazy. So we definitely, you know, we
Yeah.
push.
So, can you describe the style? You said that each HBCU has their own kind of specific style. Can you describe the style of Tennessee State University?
I would say sophistication meets swag. That's what I would say because
Ooh.
I think that we are very good at like we know how to like put on a fancy dress or the men know how to put on a suit and tie and like they know how to put it on, but one thing about us, we definitely do force you to like be yourself. Like we force you to you can everybody can have the same black suit on or the same white dress on, but you have to find a way to make it you.
Word.
So I definitely say like sophistication meets swag because we're always gonna present our best self, meaning whatever room we walk into, we're gonna be dressed for the occasion, we're gonna fit the occasion, but we're gonna be so us. It's gonna be so swagged out, you can't touch it. It's us.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, we had mentioned your upcoming podcast, All the Vibes with Asia Shiori. Can you speak to what inspired that and what your process has been creating that show?
So originally, about 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to like start my podcast, but I just was in a space where I felt although this is something that I want, I have some like self growing to do before I put myself out there and like I put myself in a space to push that. Because like I feel like when you have a podcast, you have a certain responsibility to be able to like articulate yourself and be able to adequately push the message that you want to push.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it takes a certain level of like self-confidence in order to do that. So I knew that I wanted to do my podcast, but I just felt like I had some more growing that I wanted to do. And then through school, like the me being a public relations major, one of the things that I had to do was I had to come up with an idea, a concept, and like a production plan to execute to figure out what I would want to do. And so I just was like, now's the time.
Mm,
Now's the time because if I'm gonna be putting my energy towards anything, and I already do YouTube and I already do like Instagram and stuff, if I'm gonna be putting my energy towards anything, put it towards something that I've actually been working on creating. So
yeah.
I just was like, now's the time. So
I
yeah.
love that. You had mentioned in your response there, building your self confidence up, and I was. Can you speak to maybe a couple of your favorite ways in which you boost your confidence and boost your self esteem a little bit? I know I got my personal ways on, like, whether it's putting on my favorite playlist and I'm like jumping around dancing and just like letting all the anxiety just like get out my body like that, and that like helps me, give me a boost. That's just my personal way to go about it. But I'm curious on some of your like top two, top three ways to just like, oh, okay, now I feel better. I feel good about myself. Let's get it.
I think it depends. Like for me, I would say one thing that I'm definitely very big on that I don't think a lot of people do is I'm very big on like self dating. Like I take myself everywhere. I'm the woman that I can literally go to dinner, sit at a five-star restaurant by myself and eat the dinner. I can go to a movie, I can go anywhere and like feel okay because I'm so used to taking myself out and putting myself into the spaces where you typically need another person there or feel more comfortable if another person's there. It's like if I want to experience that, I'm still gonna go. If I want to bowl and I don't have anybody to bowl with, I'm gonna go bowl by myself. You
Mm,
know? So
mm-hmm.
I think that I would say like the small things that I've done are being a lot more sure of myself. So like if I have an idea or if something comes into my head, I stick to it because I truly believe that God would not have put it in my head if it was not for me. Like everyone has a dream, everyone has a purpose, and that's why we dream it and we don't just wake up saying it. That's why we dream it because it's between you and God. You had that conversation and he lets you know what your plan is supposed to be and where you're supposed to be going and you keep your mouth closed and you get it done. So I think it taught me to be a lot more like sure of myself. Another way is definitely through music. I love to dance. I love to do that. And then also like through my presentation, like being the best version of myself I can be. I love to be versatile with my outfits. I don't limit myself to a skirt or a dress. I put on whatever I want to put on. And whatever makes me feel confident that day is what I'm gonna walk in. So I think those are like my three main things. Just trusting myself, um, putting myself out there as far as like putting on my clothes and just putting on my stuff. And once I put on my clothes, it's like, okay, I'm bad again. I'm confident now. I look good. And
That's
then
right. That's
also
right.
like, yes, and then also like the naturalism, like just being able to be natural. Like I had to embrace that because for a long time I felt like you need makeup and you need this, that, and the third in order to be beautiful. So I think getting back to like my natural self was just a big confidence booster for me.
Mm, beautifully said. I like that a
Thank
lot. Thank you
you.
for sharing that. Um, I have a lot of questions. I'm trying to decide where to go from here. So with studying fashion, can you speak a little bit on? I love just like how, as a photographer, I really appreciate good styling because I feel like a good style is what elevates the photo. Like you can do so many things technically um, right in terms of like composition, lighting, exposure, that kind of thing. But when it comes to styling, that's out of my hands and into y'all's hands. And so I just really appreciate the stylists. And can you speak on a little bit of like the process of what goes into making a piece, like when you're making clothes and making different pieces and things like that, like what is like, if you had to like break it down into steps, like what's your process like in creating fashion?
I think that for me, my process is I'm very like conceptual. Like I like to concept design, if that makes sense. So like right now I'm in a very Afro centric like space. Like I'm in a space where I want to challenge like people's way of thinking. Like I want to put on clothes that like I don't think I would see anybody in, or like I want to wear pieces that I feel like if you were to see this piece, you would say that's so strange outside of the box. Why would somebody wear that until you see it in the outfit? So
Mm.
I think that for me, yeah, I'm just very like conceptual. And then also I'm the way that I style things is like if I need say I know I want a mini skirt type outfit, but I don't know like the color or the pattern, or I don't know how I want it to fit, or I don't know if I want it to be a maxi or a mini. I just know I want a skirt. I know that's the kind of vibe that I'm going for. So what I'll do is I'll find like an accessory. So whether it's the bag or the shoe or the sunglasses or a hat or a bracelet or a chain, like whatever my main staple accessory is what I'm gonna base my outfit off of, as opposed
Ooh.
to building the outfit and then accessorizing around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I
that's a
like do it backwards.
that's a little cheat code right there. Appreciate
Uh-huh.
that. That's dope.
Of course,
Can
of
you
course.
share on the same wave as helpful tips and tricks? Can you can you maybe share some tips for somebody who is listening to this and they're like, dang dog, I'm trying to get my style game up a little bit, like I got these different colors, like maybe how you go about like putting together or like certain colorways that you're seeing trending together right now, like maybe just some tips for somebody who's listening.
Got you. So I don't know if y'all could tell by like what I have on, but like the color scheme that I've been like gravitating heavily towards are like brown, black, beige, white. Like those have been
Okay.
like my colors. But I also love like styling people with pops of color. So my main tips would be number one, color block. So don't wear like if you're gonna wear brown, don't wear the same brown throughout your whole entire outfit. If you're gonna wear brown, try to wear things that complement it. Like if you're gonna wear like a brown top, then you could pair that with like a mustard yellow bag, and then you could do that with like a different color shoe. Like make sure that you color block because you don't want to come across too matchy matchy. And then
Yeah.
also because that's the worst. You don't want to come across too matchy matchy. And then also just trust yourself because I promise you, it's always the outfits that you second guess the most that you look the best in. Like it's the ones that when everybody around you is like, oh, I don't know if you should wear that before they see you put it on. Like
Okay.
when it's laying down in the bed and you're like, okay, so this is what I'm thinking, and you piece it together, and everybody's like, oh, I don't know about that until you put the outfit on. Then you put it on, and it somehow makes sense. Like it somehow goes together. That's the vibe. So I think just trust yourself and color block. Do not wear the same color. And then
Trust.
also
Oh yeah.
experiment with fabrics.
Oh,
Like
like
if
different
you did like a
textures.
mustard yellow shoe, exactly. If you did like a mustard yellow shoe, but you had a fur zebra bag with a brown fit, boom, color block.
Oh.
That's it.
Hey,
That's it.
go ahead. Hey, I hope y'all taking notes, cause you know what I'm saying, Asia over here giving y'all some gems, cause all we got some
Hmm.
conferences and things coming up. I'm speaking to my community now. Hey y'all, we got some conferences and stuff coming up, so like, we can put some fits together now, thanks to Asia's tips. Appreciate you.
Right.
I want to switch gears here a little bit and transition from fashion to talking a little bit about your culinary expertise and the different dishes and things like that you enjoy making. Can you speak on some of your favorite things that you like to cook and what inspired that joy that brings making those dishes?
Yes, of course. So I feel like number one, the things that I love to cook, I'm a sweet I'm a foodie, but I'm like a sweet kind of girl. Like I don't like baked foods. Like I'm not like big on cupcakes, cakes, cookies,
Okay.
stuff like that. Even though I'm definitely good at like making it. Like I can make chocolate mousse, I can make anything for real, for real. But I'm definitely like I love for like savory food to have a sweet taste to it.
Mm,
I don't
okay.
know. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I like things like curry chicken, honey barbecue wings, um, beef ribs, mac and cheese, collard greens, spaghetti, ziti. Like I like the like traditional food,
The
and then
staples, yeah, yeah.
also exactly like the staples, and then also like Jamaican food. So I love like roti.
Is that your
I just
background?
love yeah. So like my mom is German and my dad's Jamaican.
Oh, word. Okay.
So I
Damn, cool.
definitely do like love it. I know, right?
What's German food
But
like?
I don't know. I was raised by my like literally my whole dad's side of the family. I'm not
Said no
don't know
bratwurst for
nothing about
me.
that. Don't know nothing about that.
Oh shoot, that's jokes. I'm just
Yes.
curious because do you do a lot of as we're talking about like different countries and stuff? Do you travel? Do you do a lot of
hmm
traveling? Okay,
I love to travel. I've been to Germany once. I've been to Jamaica. Um, I've been to the Dominican Republic,
oh,
and
Dominican's
then I've
beautiful.
traveled like throughout the United States.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah.
What has been your favorite place in the U.S. that you've traveled to? I'll,
I'm originally from New Jersey and I live in Georgia, so I'm gonna say Jersey just because it's home.
really, Jersey?
But I would say that just because it's home. Like I'm used to like the team parties and like going out, being able to
Okay, the
have fun.
culture
Like
of
that Jersey,
Jersey. The culture.
right?
It's not for like the scenic
Yeah,
beauty of.
no. I
Okay.
think the scenic.
That's what I was like. Now I've been to
Mm-mm.
Jersey and I had.
Yeah, and it's not the best.
But no, the people
I
there,
don't
it's a
know.
vibe.
I
The people
think
are a vibe there for sure, for sure. Like
yeah, like I feel
culturally,
like they are so chill. Like they like so chill. I don't know,
definitely. They was
but I also think like Florida.
okay, okay.
I don't know.
Florida's nice. Florida.
I don't know. I haven't been to LA yet, so I can't talk about LA, even though that's where I want to go.
That's
That's
where
what I'm
you.
trying to do.
Hey, there you
That's what I'm
go.
trying to.
Let's breathe life into that dream one time for the one time
Right.
because that's what's about to happen.
That's where I'm trying to go. So
Yup, that's where
yeah.
you're about to go.
Yo.
Cool. That's yo. Yeah, you need to go out. LA is. Ah, shout out to LA, my LA fam. I love LA, and just like it. People always say it's a vibe. They're not lying. I can't describe it other than like it's a freaking vibe. But it is like so. I lived out there for 8 years, and I didn't realize like how fast and like like constant it is until I moved back to Michigan, and I was like, oh, so this is how like every day usually is like it's like very
Yeah, that's
slow,
how it goes.
slow pace, and like there's
Trying to figure
nature.
out what to do without the day or
Yeah,
throughout the
yeah,
day.
yeah. Um. Oh, this has been such
That
a.
was definitely my switch up too from like Jersey to Georgia. Like in Jersey, everybody is like very, even though the vibe is very chill, like everybody is very like everybody just be chilling, but they are very fast paced compared to like Georgia.
Do you think
Like
that
Georgia, unless you're
do you
in
think
Atlanta,
do you think the pace of New York kind of trickles into the pace of Jersey of like that kind of.
for sure, because like I think for sure, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I definitely do think so. Because like my brother and I, we're the same age, and we live like 10 minutes away from each other. But I was in Jersey, and he was in Harlem, in New York. So it's like it's literally that close. Like all you have to do is cross the bridge, literally. So I think that because it's so close, everything is so intertwined. Like you can live in Jersey and work in New York, or vice versa. It's like one of those states. Like it's very close. So I think that it does trickle down because everybody's there. You know?
For sure, for sure. That totally makes sense. And when I was visiting, that was like the vibe that I was getting to because, yeah, it was just a good time. I have a couple more questions here for you, and then we'll start to wrap up. Thank you so much again for your time. This has been a really wonderful conversation. What is something
Thank
that
you. I really appreciate you. I'm sorry. Before you get into that, I just wanted to say I really appreciate you and thank you so much. And I love your vision and what you're doing and how hard you're working and seeing your success. Like it's very inspiring. So thank you.
I received that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hey, we making moves, man. We moving and grooving. We moving and grooving.
You know.
Um, so What is something that you are currently excited about? Something that you're looking forward to? Please share.
As far as like career wise, or
Oh,
as far as like just
career wise,
anything.
and we'll break it down into three sections, like career wise, and then school wise, if there is anything. Sometimes school can be exciting. I don't know, and then personally.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with career wise first, and then I'll do education, and then I'll do personal. So the way that you said it. So career wise, I'm very excited to launch I'm very excited to launch my podcast and be able to show people um how I do things, because I don't want it to be like a traditional like sit down podcast. I just wanted to have like some segments where we do sit down and just podcast. But I also want to be able to show people how to cook their favorite dishes during like holiday times, and how to style outfits and how to put outfits together. So I do want to be versatile, but I'm very very excited about that. I've been working on my whole production plan for like a long time now. So I'm very excited about that. And then as far as my education, I'm a senior. I'm a first semester senior. So this December I'll be graduating. So I'm very excited. I'll be graduating with both of my degrees and going into graduate school. So I'm excited about
Wow.
that.
Yes,
You know,
congratulations. That's massive. Seriously, and double
thank
majoring,
you,
like, sheesh, killing it.
thank you. And then personal, um, I'm excited because bless you. There are things that I want to get into, like as far as like having my body done, like having certain things done to my body. So this year I am planning on doing something, having something done, you know. So I'm excited about that, having the surgery done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations on all of these things that are going to happen. We're speaking it into existence and breathing
Yeah.
life into that. And I have just a couple more questions here for you, Asia. What does culture mean to you?
Um, Culture to me means togetherness. I think that culture means it's the safe space for a community of people that are similar to embrace each other. I
Mm.
think that culture also influences individuality as well. Because I think that people oftentimes confuse culture with tradition. And although they go hand in hand, come on, stay with
Spitting.
me. Although like they do go hand in hand, like culture and tradition, I think that culture does promote a certain level of individuality, because culture can always be elevated. Culture can always be like something different can always be added to culture, you know? So I
Yes.
definitely that's my definition. You
Wow.
know.
I think that's been my favorite take so far on what culture means. That is very well said. Wow, thank you for sharing that. Um, Last question here. It's a two-part question. How do you define legacy, and what do you want your legacy to be?
Um so I define legacy as something to be remembered by. And what I mean by that is like your family. Like, so say your family name is your legacy. Your family name is the name that was established by whatever member in your family did something big to create a foundation for y'all to always maintain a certain lifestyle, a certain level, like a certain livelihood, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's what legacy is for me, but I also think that there can be legacy is like you don't have to be like rich to have a legacy. That's what I'm trying to say. But also I feel like legacy is like the mindset of having something to be remembered by.
Mm.
Like that's like what Beyonce said in 16 Carriages, where she's just like, like we have a whole bunch that we want to do. Like there's a whole world that we want to achieve, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that we want to achieve. And I'm not gonna stop until I've created that legacy, so that when I'm gone, and my kids and their kids and their kids are here, they can still benefit off of the fruits of my labor. They can still have something to be remembered by, and they can still always hold themselves up to the standard of that name, that legacy that we created. And then what was the second part of the question?
And what do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy, I want to be a powerhouse. I want to be known as a successful, strong, trailblazing Black woman of trans experience. I want to be known as a woman that not only kicked down doors and walked through them, but held everyone's hand and walked them through the door as well. And I think that I want to have a legacy of being kind and being uh, inspirational. Like I want to be able to inspire people. I want outside of just my family and outside of just the people that I'm connected with, like meaning my blood family and my chosen family, just outside of them, I want to always be a source of inspiration behind anybody. When they think of my name, I want them to hear strength and I want them to hear
Mm.
courage and I want them to hear power. And, so I think that's what I want my legacy to be. And I think that I'm going to do that through, beauty and fashion and lifestyle and cooking and just encompassing being a lifestyle creator for me and watching that grow and see how I could scale it through my clothing line and through my cooking line and, through everything as I scale. We'll see. But that's what I want. I want to be able to inspire people. And when people hear me, I can be a source of strength for them. And when I'm gone, that source of strength is still there.
Well, you are already doing an incredible job of paving that legacy. And yeah, just thank you again for joining. It has been amazing getting to know you a bit more. Do you have any last plugs or any last things you want to let our audience know or anything like that before we start wrapping up here?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for having me. This was such a dope experience, so thank you so much. Um, Anybody that wants to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at ASAP Asia, ASXP Asia. And then if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel where all the vibes with Asia Shiori is gonna be, you can definitely subscribe at Asia Shiori. And yeah.
Awesome. Make sure y'all go follow Asia's Journey on Instagram and on YouTube. Be on the lookout for that podcast that's going to be dropping soon. I'm super excited for that and for you to begin that journey as well. And thank you all of you who tuned in and listened to the live stream, especially everyone who's going to collect this when it hits the blockchain. That is what sets Culture Shift apart, is these episodes are being archived on the blockchain. Not only that, but they're being sold for crypto, and every guest earns a percentage of those sales for being so gracious with their time, energy, and perspective. If you listen to this and are wanting to learn more about crypto art, digital assets, and the blockchain, reach out. Let's connect. There are so many resources, and I would be honored to help you get started on your journey. This is the Culture Shift with Raven50mm. Thank you all again. We will catch you on the next episode. Which will actually, I'm going to be taking a break here for a couple of weeks because I'm headed to South by Southwest. I'm super hype about that. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube and follow the journey. It's going to be bananas. Like I keep saying, I'm documenting the greatest story never told until now. Cause like it's the way that God is
That
moving
is
is like
so dope.
is
That
wild.
is so dope.
So yeah, we'll be back with Culture Shift in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, stay hydrated, stay blessed. Peace. Y'all have a good weekend.